Welcome back. The 119th Congress is officially underway. House Speaker Mike Johnson successfully held on to the gavel. He'll lead a razor-thin Republican majority in the House. But with every new Congress comes a new dynamic in Washington. So let's talk about this one with my guest tonight, Democratic strategist and Fox 5 contributor Kevin Walling and conservative strategist Brittany Martinez, both up late with me tonight here on the Final Five. You know, when I was thinking about who would best to be talking about this issue on the show tonight, I would think about the person who worked in the office of former Speaker Kevin McCarthy out in California. Brittany.
Hello.
Hi. Did this bring back any memories today?
You always got to talk about my PTSD on this show. Yes, absolutely. You know, when I was thinking about whether this was going to go multiple rounds or not, I'll be honest, I did think it was going to go multiple rounds, not as many as McCarthy. That was 15 rounds. I thought it would be 3. And that's not just what my perception was. That was what I was hearing from leadership folks on the Hill. So good for him to get it on the 1. They left that vote open for a while, so they were able to get it through and across the finish line. But yeah, it did surprise me a little bit. But ultimately, he was going to be Speaker. No one else would.
So, I mean, Democrats, Kevin, as we know, they gave Hakeem Jeffries as much love as they could. Nancy Pelosi got a big ovation when she came in and cast her vote for Hakeem Jeffries. Obviously, they knew it wasn't going to go their way, but did they get any juice out of that kind of discord, even though it still only took 1 ballot?
You mentioned the former Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The key thing today that I saw, first time on the floor that she's ever worn flat shoes because yes. She had her hip replaced from that Codell fall by the way, from a few weeks ago.
And she looked. I mean, look,
she's incredible.
She looked great. Yeah.
But listen, you know, this was always the Republican gamut. We saw it, you know, to Brittany's point, just 2 years ago. Then, obviously, with that motion to vacate, we kind of just sat back. I think the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, did a heck of a job in terms of praising and working for bipartisan solutions in this next Congress. That was the core of his kind of introductory remarks of Speaker Johnson. But it was a great day for Speaker Johnson. I think it's a good day for America too when you have adults in the room that actually get things done.
I think that's the most important thing, and more importantly, as they go through this rules package here, that one vote, that one person can trigger a motion to vacate is gone effectively. I think you need 9, but we did have 9 holdouts, it seemed, for a while today. It only took 2 to flip the votes there. So what does that? As we look at priorities here, I mean, the extending the Trump tax cut seems to be a major priority for this Congress. A lot has been said about the border even today. What do you see them getting done here now that this part of the heavy lift is over?
Well, I want to just point out the 9, like you said. I think that was a really important number to remember because it was sort of the 9 holdouts that ended up coming around, but we'll have to keep an eye on that moving forward. But we are, in my opinion, we're kind of already in a lame duck session. I know that Republicans especially will say that we're not, and will say that, oh, it's in 2 years, but the majority is so slim for Republicans. It's so slim, and I think it's going to be tough to navigate that, and it's, you know, he's did a good job. I think he earned that vote today, but it's going to be the tax cuts. He talked about that in his speech. Immigration, I mean, all the things that Republicans ran on, the economy, I think those are the main focuses of the conference this year.
You know, something was pointed out today, and I think this is worth repeating, that when you saw Hakeem Jeffries behind him, Steny Hoyer, Nancy Pelosi, when you look behind Mike Johnson, there was nobody from previous leadership because, you know, John Boehner was run out of town, Paul Ryan, Kevin McCarthy. Is that, but Republicans, they're sort of forging a new generation of leadership there. Did the Democrats need to leave that behind?
I think we've got a great bench of new Democrats as well coming up. You know, we were together on election night. You've got some great new members from Maryland and from Virginia. So you have that youthful element as well. But then you also have those party elders that can be those statesmen and have been those statesmen and stateswomen in the past that can guide Congress. And I think that's the best of both worlds. You also have some old hands on the Republican side. Tom Cole, others that have been at the process for a long time, a lot of former and current chair people in that Congress, and I think that's important.
One person that was not there today, and I talked with some people earlier today, was Matt Gaetz. And Matt Gaetz, as we know, was the instigator that forced Speaker McCarthy out last time around. Is the Republican Party? I mean, you had the holdouts today, but there doesn't seem to be a Matt Gaetz, I'm here to stir stuff up figure, or have we not seen that person yet?
I think that he is a one-of-a-kind guy. I don't necessarily mean that as a compliment either. It gave me great satisfaction when the letter was read to Congress today saying that he wouldn't be part of the 119th Congress, and there was
bipartisan applause. I think you had a lot of Republicans applauding that letter too.
I tweeted something that Matt Gaetz is the bipartisan, bicameral issue, a dislike for him, and so no, I think he was that person. I don't think we're going to have it to that extent. And to like the Chip Roys or the Tom Masseys, the thing about them versus Matt Gaetz is that they stand in their conviction, where Matt Gaetz, in my opinion, just wanted to be on TV and get a show, which he did.
Well,
so.
Yeah, good news. You can see him on a network that I don't think any cable networks.
Sacred Fox 5.
Thank you. Well, let me ask you before we go, Kevin, because I'll give you the last word on this. Bipartisanship. It has. You got. If you want to get stuff done, Republicans have to understand. You got to get some Democrats on board. Do we see Democrats willing to reach out over to Speaker Johnson and say on issues that are important to us, we're willing to work, or are they going to say, hey, look, you're on your own?
I think you do. I think there's a level of respect and appreciation between Speaker Johnson and Leader Jeffries that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
They're of the same generation. They are actually interested in getting things done and pushing out the extremes on both sides to actually govern from the middle. We'll see how tenable that is in the next couple of months. Of course, that big deadline in March is coming up right away with government funding.
Kevin Walling, Brittany Martinez, good to see you both tonight.
Thanks, Jim. Good to see you.
Our pleasure. Final Five is back right after this.